Thank you so much for submitting your questions in the question box on Instagram stories yesterday. I have had the chance to review your questions and I wanted to address many of them today. So a lot of you have submitted questions in regards to hair loss. I have questions asking how to control the hair fall, ways to stress less for the hair loss, other ways to help heal alopecia. How long does a hair loss cycle last, and what are the signs that the hair is going to stop to fall? And so let's start at the basics. So hair itself, outside of alopecia, just with a regular person, has a life cycle. So hair, just like anything else, has a life cycle, right? It's not always a full moon every day, correct? It comes out once a month. So it's that type of thing where you have a life cycle of the hair. It has a resting phase, a growth phase, and a fallout phase. And what happens with alopecia is that it tends to stagnate and just stay at the fallout phase, but then it's not just the regular fallout phase, it's more intense, as you know. It's not just a regular, on average, hair fall is anywhere around from 50 to 150 hairs, according to medical research. And so that's what any doctor will tell you, is that that's normal, anything from 50 to 150 hairs. However, what I believe is that you are the expert in your own hair loss. You are the expert and you know when something is out of order, not working, or excessive. So for example, I had a blog post video a couple months ago showing my brush after I had gone out of the shower. And I asked everybody online, does this look like too much or too little? And the majority of you said it looked like too much. And in reality, it's not for me, because there are factors that maybe differ from you. First, I have curly hair. Second, I don't wash my hair every day. Third, every time I do wash, that's when everything comes out, because with curly hair, it gets matted and it gets kind of like stuck to each other, just because it's not straight. And so it doesn't fall off and I can't see it on my clothes or on my coat or on the floor. Rather, it just like mats up all together into creating like little natty knots. So hair fall is different for each and every one of you, and that rule of thumb of 50 to 150 average hair fall is average and normal. I like to shy away from that, because even though that's what medical research says, I still don't believe that. Again, I feel that you are the expert of your own hair fall. So if you think it's excessive, if you think it's too much, it usually is. And there's ways to go around that, and there's ways to mitigate that. What I teach is diet and lifestyle. And from what I see, not just in myself, but even in my clients, is that in 2 to 3 weeks, you can stop the hair shed. You can stop the hair fall in its tracks. And so that's the first part of healing. You need to stop the hair fall in order to begin to see the hair growth. So you want to come out of that fallout phase and get back onto a normal cycle of growth, rest, fallout, and make it be more normal. With alopecia, you're outside of the norm. It's just a complete different situation. And again, your body is attacking itself with this autoimmune condition. But again, you can reverse and heal this. And so this is what I teach in the 8-week, 2-month program, signature program that I have online. And again, in 2 to 3 weeks, you can stop the hair loss. And that's just with diet and lifestyle changes. So it's really up to you. Do you want to stop the hair loss now? Or do you want this to keep going and then, have this progress? And in terms of eyelashes and eyebrows falling out, this is pretty traumatic. It's happened to me. I actually lost half my eyebrows, like right here. And I saw, of course, tons of eyelashes shedding. And on top of it, I saw like my receding hairline keep going back. And I had like the biggest forehead during my time with alopecia. And it was awful. And then really, I wasn't so focused with what was going on up front. I was more focused in the back, because that's where my bald spots were. That's where these bald spots started to merge and started to grow and just progress. And normally when I see hair loss of the eyelashes like start to dwindle, and of the eyelashes and eyebrows start to dwindle, and let's say the receding hairline, the same situation I had, it's because you're progressing. You're progressing from alopecia areata to totalis. And the next step after that would be alopecia universalis. And so what I would recommend is that you seek help, that you take action, and you make it immediate, because you don't want to get to universalis, which For those of you who don't know, universalis is where you have no hair on your body, anywhere. No nostril hair, no toe hair, no hair anywhere. No legs, armpits, etc. And totalis is just where you're bald on your head, and potentially also eyebrows and eyelashes are gone too. So you don't want it to progress. And just like having a bad cold can progress to pneumonia if left untaken care of or unsupervised, we don't want you to get pneumonia. We don't want you to get bronchitis. We don't want this to escalate. And so the best thing for you to do is to seek help and mitigate that life and diet lifestyle changes and modifications that are needed to reverse this and stop it in its tracks. Again, many of you, I know for sure, just like me, started with conventional medicine, looked at doctors, tried a bunch of, gimmicks, and it's not working. This is what's led you here. And I completely understand, because I've been on that same route and I've been on that same path. And this is why I can guarantee you that with diet and lifestyle, things will change, things will improve, and you will start to see the hair growth. It was actually just yesterday that I talked to clients that are currently in the signature program, and many of them have already started to see the less hair fall significantly and are already seeing hair growth. And that's already in week 3, 4. So by week 3, 4, they're already seeing hair growth. The hair loss and the shed has already diminished significantly, and it looks more normal. And so that's important to, have it regulate. And so this way you can start focusing on hair growth. Let's see. Best way to maintain stress for hair loss. So stress is a big portion to many people, especially now during COVID. Stress can cause hair loss, but stress is not the only cause. And the thing is, it's that it compounds. And so, for example, when you want to get to the root cause, as I like to say, in regards to alopecia and hair loss, it's not just one thing or another. It's not just stress. Even though you think, oh, I have this big, boulder on top of me, this big roadblock, and it is stress. Granted, I'm not dismissing that. It definitely could be stress. However, it's stress plus diet plus lifestyle plus a bunch of other things. And so, even in my own situation, yes, I had massive stress, but it wasn't just the stress that was harming or hindering my health and actually, creating this autoimmune reaction. It was a bunch of things. When you start to peel back the layers, and when you start to really analyze all the nitty-gritty of the categories and the subcategories within diet and lifestyle, you start to see that, oh, okay, it was not just stress, it was this, and that. And so this is why I like to say it's multifactorial, because it's not just one thing or two things, it's everything. And it's how we approach everything and how we implement everything that creates, that improved health, that improved hair growth, and faster results. Because I know all of you don't want to be dealing with alopecia for more months or more years, or, you've already been on this journey for a long time. And so you want to cut to the chase and get those quick results. And granted, I want you to get those quick results too, but that takes action. So again, changing the diet and the lifestyle is the first step. 2, regrowing the eyebrows, to regrowing the eyelashes and your hair on your head and everywhere else if you're universalis, for example. Let's see. I've talked about the cycle. Let's see. So here I have a question in regards to what topicals to use, what things to do to increase hair growth. And I talk about these things in my hair mask class. And you can access the hair mask class in the signature program and also in the starter kit. In the hair mask class, we go over different techniques and strategies to increase from the outside more follicle stimulation and to also increase more hair growth. I also talk about this briefly in the books. So this is another avenue for you, because it's not just, let's say, using a topical solution. It's not just diet, which a lot of people like to focus on. It's not just diet. And I say this because I have lots of clients who are nutritionists, who are personal trainers, who are in the health and wellness, fitness, industry, and they come with lots of knowledge and they're nurses and whatnot. And at the same time, diet, even for those personal trainers or for those health and wellness industry leaders, can also be improved. I've seen, I have an intake form, and in that intake form, they list exactly what they eat for 2 days. And I can see exactly the modifications, even if slight, that are needed for them to break through and have that transformation of hair growth. I had one personal trainer client who in 3 weeks saw hair growth. 3 weeks. She bypassed the hair loss, went straight into hair growth. And this is how quickly, with just a few modifications, that, sometimes that they're hindering you. And this goes back to even looking at diet in a different lens, with a different perspective, because many times it's the health foods that you think that maybe, society says, oh, they're healthy for you, or, it should be healthy for me too, but it could be causing a reaction. It could be having a cross reaction, and it could be holding you back. And this is what we want to eliminate. We want to eliminate anything and everything that holds you back from true hair growth. And so you have to look at things with a very scrupulous eye, and not just assume that because this is a health food that it's healthy for you, because it could be reacting against you. And so in my program, I walk you through this, and I talk and I show you step by step how we can see if these foods are good for you or not. And so this is part of the problem, because many times people come out of my program and they realize they have a reaction, not necessarily an allergy, but a reaction to tomatoes, or they have a reaction to something else that they thought, or they ate their whole lives that they thought was super healthy, which, many times a certain association or a certain brand or a certain company make you believe through their marketing efforts, or it could quite possibly be healthy. For example, nuts. Nuts are in this category, where nuts are very healthy for you, but they could have a cross reaction to you. And so this is why the program is very personalized and very tailored to you and customized to you, because it's not one size fits all, including in the diet portion. So I hope this helps. There are many other questions that I will get to. I will say that there have been a couple questions in regards to hormones, PCOS, thyroid issues, and this type of thing. I'm going to write a blog post about this. If you don't subscribe, I would highly recommend you subscribe. I normally publish posts about once or twice a week, and so you can do that online at alopeciaangel.com, and you can get these straight into your inbox. So I hope this was helpful, and if you have more questions, let me know. You can email us at any time, contact us on the website, and we will be doing the question box once again next week. Take care.